Cape Coral, Florida is known for its hundreds of miles of saltwater, Gulf access canals, its warm, sunny winters, and its beautiful parks and preserves. Heck, we even have our own beach right here in the city of Cape Coral. Real estate prices all over the United States certainly aren't what they were 10 or even 5 years ago, but prices have come down a little bit in the last couple of years here in Southwest Florida. And even though the average Cape Coral property is still around $375,000, prices have come down to the point in the last couple of years where you can get a pretty decent property right now in the city of Cape Coral for under $300,000. In today's video, I'm going to show you 4 different examples of what that price point looks like here in the city of Cape Coral. And we're even going to see a pool home and a brand new construction home under that $300,000 mark. So make sure you stick around to see those 2 properties towards the end of the video. If you're new to this channel, my name is Dustin Guthrie. I'm a longtime resident of Cape Coral, Florida. I live right here in the city with my wife and our 3 little kids. And I've been a full-time real estate broker here in Cape Coral and Southwest Florida for almost 20 years now. I do a video like this every single week. Today's video is about real estate, but it's not always about real estate. Sometimes it's just really good informational topics on something going on in Southwest Florida. Maybe we're talking about insurance, or maybe we're talking about a new construction development coming to the area. So if you're interested in Southwest Florida, maybe you're thinking of moving to Cape Coral or moving to Fort Myers or moving to Punta Gorda, wherever down here, or maybe you even live here now and you just want to keep up to speed on the things going on here in Southwest Florida, reach over and hit the subscribe button so you can be around for these videos every week. I just try to give you a lot of great information and provide some value for you. I figure if I can do that, then odds are you're probably going to remember me when you do need a realtor here in Southwest Florida if you're buying or selling a property. And my contact information, of course, is right there on the screen, but it's also down in the description of this video. And you can call, text, or email me anytime. I would love to hear from you and hear about your real estate goals. But with that being said, let's get to these 4 properties. These are all in different areas of the city. They each have pros and cons to them, and we're going to cover all of that, but let's go ahead and get started. Windy today. We're supposed to get some storms, so I'm not taking the Mustang this time, but we're going to start off in the southwest section of Cape Coral with a foreclosure home. Then we're going to move over to the downtown area of Cape Coral in the southeast. We'll stay in the southeast for the 3rd property, which is actually a pool home under $300,000. And then we're going to finish up in a gated community with a brand new construction property well under $300,000. So if that sounds good with you, let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so like I said, we're starting out in the southwest section of Cape Coral. So this is a very active and developed central area of the city. Okay, this first one left me pleasantly surprised, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. But this is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, concrete block constructed home built in 2006. It has just over 1,700 square feet of living area inside, plus a 2-car garage and a small screen patio out back. And it sits on a 1/4-acre lot in a great location in the southwest. This one's walking distance to an elementary school, a middle school, and a high school, so it's perfect for folks that maybe have school-aged children. As far as the floor plan is concerned, you can see that it's a split bedroom plan with a central great room that's connected to the open kitchen. And aside from a few missing appliances, this place is surprisingly move-in ready. Check this out. This is the primary suite, and it has some pretty cool trim on this accent wall here. All the flooring in this house is either tile or laminate, so there's no carpet anywhere in this house, which is nice. For some reason, the vanity mirrors are missing in both of the bathrooms. You know, obviously with this price point, you're not going to have top-of-the-line finishes, but all in all, this place is very clean and it's very functional.
So this is a bank foreclosure. We don't see too many of these days. And if you know the history of my career, you know I've done a lot of these bank foreclosures. I've worked with several different regional and national banks, and I've sold over 1,000 of these, but most of them were back in the wake of the 2009 financial crisis. And this one is not my particular listing, but just the history of working on all these foreclosures. I fully expected to come over here at this price at $275 and see this place and find it to be just absolutely wrecked. But this home is in actually really, really good condition. It's move-in ready. It's really not too much wrong with it at all. The AC is blowing cold. The flooring looks pretty good. Everything's nice and clean. The roof's old, and it probably will need to be replaced within the next few years. I don't see any active leaks right now, but that roof is old. But a roof of this size is only costs about $15,000 these days for a shingle roof on this size home. So you could be into this property for $290,000 and have a brand new roof. And that's a pretty darn good deal for the Southwest Cape to be on central water and sewer here. And even if you're a first-time home buyer and you don't have all that cash to put down for a new roof, you can do what's called a 203K program, an FHA loan 203K program that allows you to set aside some of those lender funds to go ahead and put a new roof on after closing. So this makes all the sense in the world, particularly for maybe a young family that has kids. We do have a school right in the backyard right here, so you're walking distance down to the school. This is a 4-bedroom, so it's perfect for a larger family. And $275,000 is a really good deal for this property. And I'm already thinking of who I'm going to be emailing this to as soon as I get back to my office. This is a nice house for $275,000.
Okay, so what are the pros and cons of this Southwest Cape Coral home? Well, the positives are, of course, the low price, the fact that it's move-in ready, it's in a great Southwest Cape Coral location, and it has central water and sewer, so you're not having to deal with well and septic systems like a lot of the similar priced properties in the northeast and northwest sections of the city. As for the negatives, it's definitely going to need a new roof in the near future. There's also a little bit of a balance left on the city utilities. There's about $3,600 left to be paid off over time as part of the tax bill. Now, if I was representing the buyer on this, I would definitely look to negotiate that being paid off by the seller prior to closing because it would take the tax bill down significantly. The final negative here is the fact that the property is in a flood zone, so if you were getting a loan on this house, you'd need to carry flood insurance. Now, the good news is this property is a little bit newer and it's a little bit further inland, so more than likely the flood insurance is going to be a fair amount less expensive than you would on, say, an older home, but that would be something that we would have to shop definitely during the due diligence period.
So that house was in pretty decent shape in spite of the fact that it's a bank foreclosure, but now we're going to head to the southeast and closer to the downtown Cape Coral area and check out this next place. This next one's a little bit older, so let's see what it's got.
This second property is in a very good location of southeast Cape Coral. We're basically right here in downtown Cape Coral, just off the trendy southeast 47th Terrace corridor. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home built in 1973. It has 1,330 square feet of living area inside, plus a 2-car garage and a screened-in patio. And this property is listed at $280,000. Let's check it out. Ooh, gotta love a great 1970s popcorn ceiling, right? This is also a split bedroom floor plan with the guest bedrooms on the left and the primary bedroom on the right. This house is just pretty darn dated, and it doesn't look like there have been too many recent updates in terms of the finishes. It's certainly clean, but this is all likely original stuff from the 70s. Here's the primary suite. There's carpet in all of the bedrooms in this house and the living room, and then the bathrooms and kitchen have those smaller tile floors. Out back, you can see there are hurricane shutters on all the windows and the sliders, so that's nice. And this is a decent sized screen patio back here, although it obviously needs some screens replaced. The yard's also a good size, so there's plenty of room back here for a pool.
Well, it's just tough going from that foreclosure at $275,000 in the Southwest over here to this property at $280,000. The biggest thing this property has going for it is simply the location. This is a great southeast location. We're right down the street, walking distance from downtown Cape Coral, that really trendy southeast 47th Terrace district where all that beautiful new development is going in, like the Cove on 47th and the Bimini Basin project. And there's tons of really great restaurants and shopping and all that kind of stuff within walking distance from here. But this is a pretty old property. 1973 is when this one was built. It's only got 1,330 square feet of living area inside. It is a 3-bedroom, but it's dated, and it shows pretty dated. So it could use some updates in here and probably a little bit of remodeling could be done in here. It's probably move-in ready as it is, but I'm sure a home inspection would turn up some things here. So at $280,000, I'd probably want to work on that price a little bit if I was representing a buyer. And probably the highest and best use of this would be an investor coming in here, fixing this place up a little bit, just making it nice and move-in ready, and then placing a tenant in here, because again, we're in a great location down here, walking distance to a ton of employment centers and things like that. So it would be in a little bit higher demand for tenants down here versus some of those other locations like in the Southwest. So location-wise, great property. Property itself-wise, a little rough.
I don't mean to be all negative. There are some positives here. For one, it has a brand new roof, so that definitely helps things out. It also has central water and sewer, and the assessments for those utilities have long been paid off. But probably the best thing this home offers is just the great southeast location. Again, we're walking or biking distance from basically everything you need, which is why I think it would make a great rental property. But that said, the negatives are certainly here. It's definitely dated, number one, and I'm sure an inspection would turn up some issues that would need to be addressed. It's also fairly small at just over 1,300 square feet of living area. But probably the toughest thing here is the fact that it's in a flood zone, and for a 1970s built home like this, in this location, that flood insurance is a killer. Policies for something like this can run upwards of $4,000 a year, so for someone trying to get a mortgage here, it becomes very difficult if you have to stack on $400 a month for flood insurance, and that's before you even include the additional homeowner's policy. For those reasons, I would really want to see this price get significantly lower than the $280,000 at which it's currently listed. There are just definitely some things to overcome here.
All right, so for this next property, we're going to stay in the southeast, but we're going to head up north on Del Prado to this next location. And this home's in rough shape too, but this one actually has a pool, and so I wanted to include it because it's one of the only pool homes on the market right now in all of Cape Coral for under $300,000. So let's check this property out.
This home also has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, and it's also a bit older. It was built in 1980. It has 1,439 square feet of living area inside, plus a 1-car garage and a back patio with a decent-sized in-ground pool. At $269,900, it's currently the cheapest pool home available in the entire city of Cape Coral. Just like that last home, this one immediately shows its age as soon as you walk in the front door. I guess they were waiting for that wood paneling to come back in style. We're not quite there yet. Jokes aside, there's obviously some work that needs to be done here. At a bare minimum, there's some cosmetic things that could be taken care of, but I'd also want to have this property inspected very thoroughly, particularly because the construction is wood frame versus concrete block. That's obviously an inferior type of construction here in Southwest Florida. It doesn't necessarily mean that the house is no good, but this type of construction certainly doesn't hold up as well to things like hurricanes or termites. As far as the floor plan goes, all of the bedrooms in this house are on the same side, including this primary bedroom and bathroom, and then the main living spaces and the 1-car garage are on the other side of the house.
So this property just recently came on the market, and the reason that I rushed over here to include it in this video is because it's one of only maybe 3 or 4 pool homes on the market right now under this $300,000 range. And actually I checked it this morning, and the median price right now for all of Cape Coral for pool homes is $425,000. This home's listed at $269,900, and it's actually the cheapest pool home on the market. Now, obviously walking around here, there's a ton of work to be done in here, but it's got some bright points on it as well. In addition to that pool, it's got a brand new roof, and we're not in the flood zone over here. We're in a great location in the southeast, just down the street from Del Prado. It's on city water and sewer, and the assessments have long been paid off. But another great thing is we're out of the flood zone right here, which is a good thing because this home was built in 1980, and these older homes in flood zones tend to have a little bit more expensive flood insurance rates on them right now. So you don't have to have flood insurance here, but you got to roll up your sleeves and come here and do a lot of work. But still, $269,900, that's about as cheap as they come in Cape Coral for a pool home right now.
So the positives on this property are pretty obvious. For one, it's well priced compared to the other pool homes that are on the market right now. It also has a brand new roof. The city utility assessments have been paid off, and it's not in a flood zone, so you likely won't have to have flood insurance even if you get a mortgage on this home. That being said, there are some glaring negatives here as well. For one, there's just a ton of work needed in this house, probably even more than that last home. It's also a wood-framed home, meaning you're likely going to have a higher homeowner's insurance rate versus a concrete block home. Also in that same regard, there is no storm protection here like hurricane shutters or anything like that. So again, you're not going to see those discounts on homeowner's insurance. Still, for someone who's willing to jump into a project like this, $270,000 is a great price for this house.
All right, so now we're gonna head up a little bit further north and we're gonna get to my favorite property on this list of 4 that we have today. And this one's actually not a single family home, but it's a brand new construction townhome with a garage, and it's in a gated community. Let's check this place out.
So for this property, I'm actually going to show you the example of the lowest price unit, which is $265,000, but there are several in here that are currently available under that $300,000 mark. This is a brand new 2-story townhome in a centrally located gated community with low HOA fees. It has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, with just over 1,800 square feet of living area, plus an attached 1-car garage and a back patio. In spite of the lower price point, there are a lot of upgrades in these townhomes. They have high ceilings throughout. The kitchen features quartz countertops with an underhung stainless steel sink, these white shaker cabinets, and brand new stainless steel appliances. One other hugely important upgrade in these townhomes is the fact that they all come with hurricane impact windows and doors, meaning you'll never have to have hurricane shutters for these homes. That's a really big deal, and it helps out tremendously on the cost of homeowners insurance. Now, all 3 of the bedrooms are upstairs in these townhomes, so that could be a downside for anyone who is elderly or otherwise has a tough time getting up and downstairs. I do like that they put the laundry room upstairs instead of down by the garage. It definitely helps out if you don't have to haul baskets of laundry up and down the stairs every day. Here's the primary suite. It faces out over the rear of the property. There are available waterfront townhomes in here, but many of the lower priced units are not on a lake like this one is. And of course, this primary bathroom has a dual vanity with counters and cabinets that match the kitchen, and it also features a tiled walk-in shower. All of the bathrooms have that nice 18-inch tile flooring that we also saw downstairs.
You know, what's really impressed me about these units over here is not only the price, because you get a really incredible product for the price over here, but just the general affordability of these units right now in terms of what your carrying costs are on a yearly basis. First of all, they're just very, very well built. They're entirely concrete block construction. So not only is the lower floor concrete block, the upper floor is concrete block as well. So that saves you on your insurance, and it also saves you on just things like your power bill because it's insulated much, much better. On top of that, you've got a tile roof on all of these units, and then you've got hurricane impact windows and doors. So you basically get all of those discounts on your homeowner's insurance. We're not in a flood zone, so you don't have to pay flood insurance at all. But on your homeowner's insurance, I think the rates right now for these units are only $1,200 a year. And comparatively, when you talk about maybe an older single family home that's around the same price point, I mean, it's just night and day difference. The homeowner's insurance rates for those older properties without this hurricane protection are significantly higher. So not only are you getting a great price over here for these townhomes, and you get a great community with great amenities over here for low fees. It's only $315 a month for your HOA fees over here. But your costs are way, way down. Your power bills are down, your insurance rates are down, and overall, it's just a really affordable place to live here in Cape Coral.
Alright, so what are the positives and the negatives here? Well, there are honestly a lot of positives. For one, the price is very attractive. Many of these units are well under $300,000. They're brand new and they come with a really great warranty. They all have central water and sewer, but there's no CDD, meaning you'll save a lot on your tax bill compared to some of these other communities. On top of that, the HOA fees here are really low, and there are a ton of amenities in this community. Also, we're not in a flood zone, so no flood insurance is required. Plus, your homeowner's insurance is super low because it's all brand new and they all have hurricane impact windows and doors. There are certainly more positives here, but I'll leave it at that. The potential negatives here really are more about individual preferences and needs. For one, it has the upstairs bedrooms, which could be tough for certain people. Another thing is the fact that they are attached townhomes versus single-family homes, so you've got at least one shared wall with your neighbors. Although I will say they're concrete block firewalls between the units, so they should still be pretty quiet. Another potential preference issue is the fact that these are all in a gated community with an HOA, so you've got those dues to pay every month for your maintenance and your amenities, and then you're also required to follow the bylaws of the community, and I do know that that rubs some people the wrong way. Bottom line though, I think these are really incredible units at really solid prices, and if this is something that remotely appeals to you, my suggestion is to get a hold of me sooner than later, because there are also some additional builder incentives that I want to make sure you get if you end up buying one of these.
So I hope those 4 examples gives you a pretty good indication of what that under $300,000 buys right now in the city of Cape Coral. And it definitely buys more now than it did a couple of years ago. We're definitely in a buyer's market here in Cape Coral, Florida. And if you're thinking of moving to the area, I would invite you to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. Of course, my contact information is there on the screen. It's also down in the description of this video. Just call, text, or email me anytime. I'd love to hear from you. Beyond that, I hope you got a little bit out of this video and you enjoyed it. If you did, reach over and hit the like button for me. And again, if you're not subscribed to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button while you're at it so you can be around for these videos every single week. I think you'll get a lot out of them, and I would love to have you around in the future. So thank you for your time. Thank you for being here and watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video here in just a few days.
Like and subscribe. Just kidding.